I wasn't invited to a friend / coworker's wedding, but other friends were, unsure of how to have her stop talking to me about her big day. I met my friend Amanda at work over 3 years ago. She was new to the team and I had the opportunity to help train her. We clicked instantly and became really good friends fast. There was never any doubt in my mind that we weren't close friends. Although her schedule was slightly different than mine, she gets off work an hour or two after I do, we always made plans and met up for shopping, drinks, hanging out, and double dates with our boyfriends. Obviously, we have mutual friends we work with, and we all try to have dinner together every once in a while or go out to a bar / club. I was very happy for Amanda when she got engaged to her longtime high school sweetheart just over a year ago. They are absolutely perfect for one another, and when she showed me the ring, I was floored with how pretty it is. I did ask when the wedding would be, and she said in the late summer of 2017. It's coming up in August. She has spoken to me almost daily about her wedding planning process, which I'm totally fine with. One day, while we were hanging out, she proactively told me she wasn't inviting close friends and coworkers to the ceremony. She wanted a small and intimate wedding with her and her soon-to-be husband's family, and then everybody would be invited to the reception after. This seemed like a really good idea, and I said I liked that a lot. However, after she sent out invitations, 3 mutual friends / coworkers Snapchatted their invitations. It is not just a reception-only invitation. Ooh, okay. So wait, did we exclude you entirely from the wedding or just the wedding? The snaps weren't sent directly to me, but were on their story, and I just so happened to see them while clicking through. I was hurt I didn't receive an invitation, even if only to the reception, but I didn't bother bringing it up to Amanda. Ooh.
Okay.
We don't know what's happening in the story, but I think like at a certain point she told you that you would be invited at the very least to the reception, and you're not. Could it have been that your invitation got lost in the mail? It's possible. Clearly, we weren't as close friends as I thought, and she had already made it clear to me she had no plans of inviting friends and coworkers. However, since she had invited some other girls we work with, I figured it was just a roundabout way of her politely telling me I wasn't invited while trying to spare my feelings. However, she still talks to me daily about her wedding that's coming up in just a few months, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. She constantly talks about everything. Recently, she talked my ear off during our lunch break about her dress, and she showed me all of the pictures she took in it before sending it off to get altered. It's a very pretty dress, but it was a harsh reminder I won't be there to see her in it or celebrate her marriage. Are we sure you don't have an invite? Like, are we sure? I don't know. I don't know. I'm perfectly polite and engaged in our conversations when she speaks to me about her wedding, but it's the only topic that ever comes up, and any attempt to change it up somehow comes straight back to her big day. Okay, so if she did overtly not invite you and kind of uninvite you, because she did invite you at first, if she didn't invite you to her wedding, her talking about her wedding in front of you is really rude. It's really rude. I get it. She's excited and she's allowed that, but it stings a lot. Yeah, you have a right to be upset, especially if she left you out on purpose. Obviously, I've distanced myself from hanging out with her as much because her thoughts on our friendship were drastically different than mine. How can I politely tell her to stop talking to me about it without hurting her feelings or having it turn nasty? And if it does turn nasty, how should I even begin to handle it? I don't think Amanda would make things nasty. She's very nice, but I don't want her to feel like I'm attacking her in any way and then make a mountain out of a molehill. I think we need to find out more information. Like, I think that you need to have a conversation that's like, hey, like, I noticed that, like, you know, so-and-so was invited and, you know, they were invited to the whole thing. And like, I just want to like clarify, like, am I invited? Because I never saw an invitation from you. Like, is it possible that it got like lost in the mail? Let's do that before we assume. It is entirely possible that that the invitation might have gotten lost. Otherwise, she is like overtly being very tacky with the way that she's just talking about it in front of you, all the while knowing that you're not invited. Like, I don't know. Okay, so people in the comments are saying you could say this: Amanda, I know you're really excited about your wedding, but it feels weird to talk about it all the time when I'm not a guest. And then offer up a change of subject. Okay, yeah, that's good. OP liked this suggestion. Some people are pointing out that it is entirely possible she forgot to send an invitation. This actually happened to me recently, and the bride did eventually message me that she was so sorry, she didn't realize she forgot to send it, and the planning has been hectic and she definitely wanted me to come, okay? OP said it is entirely possible she thought of me as a peripheral friend and simply forgot. I just don't think it's worth the energy trying to figure that out now after the fact. OP added, unfortunately, she doesn't know my address and never asked for it after telling me that friends and coworkers weren't going to be invited. So I'm sure it isn't an issue of an invitation getting lost in the mail. Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't look good. OP says she plans on politely nudging her friend to stop talking about her wedding when she approaches her next. I'll update this when that happens. So we do have an update. We do.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I meant to update this yesterday when I got off work, but I forgot. So here's a slightly late update on what transpired after I received a lot of great feedback and suggestions. I took my second break a little later than usual, hoping Amanda wouldn't notice. Well, she did, and she hopped up from her desk and followed me into the break room. She said hello, asked me how I was, for once. And before I fully sat down to relax, began chatting about her wedding. Again, I would also argue that talking about it this much is it is annoying, regardless of whether or not someone is invited or not. I would bring it up if people asked, but yeah, I don't know, talking about it incessantly like this, it's annoying regardless of whether or not you have an invite. I waited a moment, then politely cut in with a smile and said, Amanda, I really appreciate that you want to share all of this with me, but this talk makes me slightly uncomfortable. She looked confused and asked me why. I was honest and I told her it makes me upset that all she seems to want to talk about to me is her wedding and I wasn't invited. She laughed it off and said, but I didn't invite anyone from work, so it's not just you. Yeah, that's not a good look. So that comment alone made it very clear that I was intentionally excluded from her invitation list. She also said that you were going to be invited to the reception and you're not. I really did want to give her the benefit of the doubt because it happens, right? Sometimes you forget to include people. Sometimes invitations literally get put in spam, you know? It's a common thing that happens and I really did want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but quite frankly, even if you were invited, to incessantly talk about it like this is super annoying. It's super annoying. The world doesn't revolve around you and your wedding. And although it is a fun thing to talk about, and when it's something that everyone wants to talk about, it's a fun thing to talk about. But talking about it this much, all the while knowing that you didn't invite someone, aren't you embarrassed? I would feel so bad. I would feel so bad about it. I would not be able to continue a conversation without about my wedding, and it's someone that I didn't invite, without affirming listen, I would have loved to have invited you. The guest list just got out of control and we are literally at capacity and I could not invite anybody else. The fact that she doesn't feel that way and is just so freely kind of rubbing it in your face in a way is you're allowed to be excited, but let's have some decorum, some social decorum. Yes, she has every right to choose who she wants to invite to her wedding, but there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it. Telling me she was excluding a specific group that includes me, then inviting other people and lying to me about that, at that point, is not the right way to go about it. And yeah, she did lie about it. Even if you didn't see the invitations, you would have seen other people's stories on Instagram, photos taken from the day. You would have found out eventually. The least you can do is talk to people about why they're not invited. Hopefully they'll understand. It's her right to not invite whoever she wants. But at the end of the day, it is tacky to talk about it in the way she is. A simple, hey, I know we're friends and all, but I made the decision to not invite you to my wedding for X reason. Would have been totally okay, and I would have respected that decision 100%. I kind of gave her a weird look and said, but you invited friend 1, 2, and 3. I saw it on their Snapchat stories a while back, unless that was a mistake. I have never seen a woman turn around so fast and bolt out of a room. She looked positively angry. I imagine she went to find all 3 of the girls and tell them that I found out. Either way, I got to enjoy the last few minutes of my break in peace. She didn't approach me for the rest of the day and avoided me as we both walked the same path to leave the building and get to the general area where we had parked our cars. Safe to say, I've lost a few friends, but I'm not heartbroken about it. I'm just glad there wasn't any drama involved in my saying anything, and I'm pretty sure all 4 of them will be avoiding me from here on out. Thank you to everyone who took the time to read my post and gave me some advice, both good and bad. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. And the thing is people do take it personally when they don't get invited. It is what it is. The bride hasn't approached her at all. None of the other girls have. She proactively removed all of them from her social media, so I didn't give them a chance to remove me first. Okay, sounds like the friendship is over. I mean, it's sad. It's sad that the friendship had to end and you had to find out that way. But at the end of the day, you weren't invited. For God knows what reason why.